Everybody, this lady says that she doesn't want to have a son, and I'll let her tell you the interesting reason why.
This might be controversial, but I obviously don't care. I always tell my potential partners if I ever get pregnant with a son, I'm returning it to the sender because I don't want to raise one. I don't care. I don't care. I might as well be one of those people that flip out and cry when they're having a girl at a gender reveal because I do not want to have a son. I don't want to raise one. I do not want to potentially raise someone's abuser. I don't want to potentially raise someone in this society. I just don't see a possibility of raising someone that doesn't contribute to a woman suffering in some way. And I just don't want to be a part of that.
Wow. So she equates giving birth to a son as giving birth to a future abuser. A future abuser. That's how she sees having a son. The title reads, Why I Will Never Have a Son.
But I obviously don't care. I always tell my potential partners if I ever get pregnant with a son, I'm returning it to the sender because I don't want to raise one. I don't care. I don't care. I might as well be one of those people that flip out and cry when they're having a girl at a gender reveal because I do not want to have a son. I don't want to raise one. I do not want to potentially raise someone's abuser. I don't want to potentially.
She does not want to potentially raise someone's who? Husband, provider, protector. No. She's already equating as a black woman. Oh my goodness. She's equating having a black woman if she were to get pregnant and have a son. She's already equating him as an abuser. Gee, I wonder what kind of father figure she may have had. She also said,
raise someone in this society. I just don't see a possibility of raising someone that doesn't contribute to a woman suffering in some way.
Wow.
And I just don't want to be a part of that. I don't think that it's worth having. Me?
Wow. So she thinks if she were to have a son, he can't contribute anything positive to a woman's life. He may abuse one.
People that flip out and cry when they're having a girl at a gender reveal because I do not want to have a son. I don't want to raise one. I do not want to potentially raise someone's abuser. I don't want to potentially.
Wow, she doesn't want to potentially raise someone's abuser. So she has already determined that more than likely that he will probably grow up and do what? Abuse women. I mean, that's what she said. She doesn't want to raise an abuser.
Raise someone in this society. I just don't see a possibility of raising someone that doesn't contribute to a woman suffering. And
Yep. Gee, yesterday I did the video. Black women, we've gone from 60.9% to 84.4%. Now, on a test, that seems like great improvement, but no, that's the percentage of black women that are basically the sole providers, for their families, or some that may have a partner. From 60.9% in 2014 to 2017, revealing the number to be 84.4%. The breadwinners by race. What the heck you think 2024 is probably sitting up at 95, 95.999. This is why she doesn't want to have a son. Why? She feels that basically she'll be raising an abuser. Why? Because you know what? We can't ignore the stats. Women and children are abused every day. Every day, what is it? 4.5, a black woman is killed, reportedly. And the numbers are probably worse than that. That might be an old figure. Every day, a black woman is killed. One thing that can get you killed, and let's not pretend it's not some when you do a video about a black woman being unalived by a white man, it's really sad they seem to love it. But the white man ain't coming to the BC every day just killing black women. Ladies, as you know who, it's sometime a male that looks just like you, got that same melanin. But let's keep our head in the sand, lady, and just continue doing what we're doing. This is crazy. It is insanity. Keep on doing the same thing over and over again. The most disrespected, unprotected, the most unalive women on the planet in this community. So it's to the point now she doesn't want to raise a son because she feels it's going to go ahead and abuse a woman. Why? That's common in our community. There's even financial abuse. Truth for Serum made a very interesting comment when I talked about the part with the lady. I said on her job, Becky sitting up sitting with the manager and then not doing her work, taking her like 2-3 hour lunches. And then the black woman has already perfected her job, got it done early. That's her brain power at work. And that kind of black woman need to have your own side hustle. So now she's got the job done early. All of a sudden, there was a meeting where the manager going to tell her, he's telling everyone, but we know it was about her because that's what happened that day after Becky had her 2-3 hour lunch. And saying, hey, we got to, try to pitch in and help our coworkers. No, I'm not doing no 2 jobs for one. Sister, slow it down. Daydream in between. You're not doing no 2 jobs for one out of me. Slow it down, darling. Daydream in between. Don't get fired, but don't daydream in between. You're not, no. It's only one check. You get 1 job per check. That's it. While Becky go do her thing. And I talked about how she went home and her non-working husband, she's the sole support. And he never did say anything about the mistreatment of her on the job, didn't apologize. His main thing was, they pretty much need that job. You know how these jobs are. So basically just deal with it because she's the sole support. So, hey. And Truth Certain for Life put a comment in saying, domestic pimping, you doing right. Why I will never have a son. And see, here's the thing too. For some single mothers, while you're working on that grind, keeping a roof over their head, food on the table, clothing on the back, insurance for health reasons, while you're doing that, you need to understand this here. Believe it or not, there are other influences out there in the streets that maybe you don't see. You cannot take for granted that unless you got a camera in the home, your child is always at home because they say kids are slick. I have a niece. I said, and she might not know that I know, but Annie knows, sweetie. It's cool. What's she, about 21, 22? I have a niece. Had a little setup and everything. And I said, she wanted to go to a party in Fort Lauderdale. I said, no, don't go. Don't go to the party. I'm just paying for the apartment and the car. I'm just paying the bills. She's doing her thing. Then I'm back at my place. Gee, I said, don't go to the party. So I left after, and then came back maybe a couple of days, a week so. No, maybe a couple of days later. Maybe like 2 or 3 days later, the vehicle parked in the same spot as it was before. Okay. I said, don't go to the party. What do you think happened? Months later, because the vehicle is registered in my name. Months later, I got a ticket. What the hell is this? You have to call them. Wait a second. They got a picture of the vehicle. They got the VIN number, the license plate. You can go online and look at it. Got the officers. How did the vehicle get to Fort Lauderdale? She parked somewhere and I guess forgot to pay, didn't pay too long. I don't know. Got a little ticket. And of course, kids don't know because they don't understand things. The ticket is going to come to the registered owner. So the registered owner is me. I'm paying for the car and insurance, Yeah. The registered owner is me, and that's what happened. The ticket came in the mail, so I called him, and I said, okay, so here's what I think obviously must have happened, and I'm just not finding out. And then I went to the vehicle to try to look. I'm like, what? Did she leave the ticket in the car? So I would have known. I checked under the seats, on the side doors, in the glove compartment. There was no ticket. So more than likely, I'm thinking Miss Lady must have trashed that ticket, not knowing I'm going to find out later. So they sent me a little thing in the mail, and it looks like it went to what, $120. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So I told her, I said, listen, I called the number and just said, hey, yeah, this right here, I have a niece, and I think it's where it came from. I'm just not finding out. I said not to go. Obviously, kids gonna do what they want to do. So they were able to, something like this right here. I'm like, oh my gosh, I live here and this apartment is here and the car is here. So, 19, they were just living a dream. And so they were able to, she's like, okay, we'll go ahead and cut it, the ticket in half. So instead of paying $120, I pay $60. What's my point? You think oh, my kid, you don't always know, and I'm not a parent, but I'm an aunt. So you may think that, oh, well, my kid, I told him to stay at home. He could have some friends over or go out maybe for a couple of hours or two, and you don't know that. But when you come home, the kid is always in the room. Oh, hey, mom. Hey, mom. Hey, mama. Yeah, everything's good. And you think, oh, my son, everything's, there's another influence out there that you don't see. And then when something happens, you get the police call, a cop call, you're like, what? What? Uh-uh. You're forgetting there was a whole nother influence out there that you didn't see, mom. And you think they're spewing, especially in this community, how they love and appreciate and respect the women? Oh, these H's ain't loyal. Neither are the dust buckets. They're the biggest traitors on the bunch. That I'm sorry to tell you, and if it doesn't apply, let it fly. It would not apply to my father, but my dad taught me critical thinking skills. You best believe that. And he taught me how to deal with a man. You don't tell him everything. You need to see what's in it for you. We're not finna go. Ain't nowhere in the hell we finna go on. My dad taught me, well, you find we're not doing well. Try to work with them. No, baby. Mm-mm. The biggest investment that black women are making is into black men. And let me ask you, how the hell is that going for you? How's it working out for you? And you wonder why she doesn't want to have a son. Afraid it's going to do what? Be an abuser. She doesn't want to. Wow. It's sad. It speaks volumes. But let's be realistic. We see the hate. We see how black women are unalived by their lovers, by their boyfriends, even unalived by their sons. But we want to negate that. We don't want to talk about that. We'll just say, well, she's a bad person. How dare she? How many have you seen on the news, on the screen? How's she on the screen? Child, she gave birth. He got mad 10 years later. And guess what? Turn around and the mama done got murked. It's happening in white communities, even Hispanic. We have a major issue with that. Aren't you tired of being a breadwinner? Honey, be the breadwinner for yourself. I'm going to do another video because, as you know, I've been watching The Shy, and I was like, oh my God, I've been saying this, and wow. There was a part about, in the therapy session, I got to do a video on it. And the lady was just saying she did what was expected of her. Why? That's what she was taught to do, what her mother wanted, get married and have some kids, and she just felt obligated. And she was like, she never had a chance, and this is one that's with the gay couple, the two moms in the home, to explore her sexuality, that she never had a chance to live alone. From mama's house to a man's house and get married and have kids, and he has to run the show. He runs the money. He makes all the decisions. Doing what was expected, doing what she was told to do. So this woman, while she'll never have a son, wow, let's not pretend that we don't see abuse in the community. People will say, oh, she's a bad woman for saying that. Well, guess what? What about the men that do the abuse? SARAPE, the financial abuse, up there smacking somebody down, and she getting up going to work supporting the whole night. I couldn't believe it. Like the lady I told y'all about. My friend was like, I'm going to go ahead and call this man. No, no, you're not. Stay in your lane. Because all he's going to see is a white guy trying to be up in his face telling him what to do. Stay in your lane. His wife shouldn't be up here working, and I want to call. Stay in your lane. Don't get involved. Because see, what's more than likely going to happen? Y'all might end up boxing up. It's not worth it. You got too much to lose. You the rich Marine. That could be a good setup. He might take a chance. I would only got some money and do something, and then y'all have at it, and then interaction. Somebody could be filming, and he might let himself get beat up, and then medical bills, and now you get sued. It's not worth it. Or what he more than likely will do is go home and take it out on the woman, and then if he caught a sin, y'all get into it. Then she might lose that job. She knew what she signed up for. You think she doesn't know her husband doesn't work? I mean, it's been made perfectly clear, and she's obviously okay with that. He dropped off at the work, car wreck, and it might be a beatdown. All bandages up at the hospital, can't barely move, but she at that desk. Domestic pimping. She up there, should be at home resting. But hell, if she doesn't go to work, hell, somebody's got her. But we don't want to talk about that. That is abuse. That is abuse.
Potential partners. If I ever get pregnant with a son, I'm returning it to the sender because I don't want to raise one. I don't care. I don't care. I might as well be one of those people that flip out and cry when they're having a girl at a gender reveal because I do not want to have a son. I don't want to raise one. I do not want to potentially raise someone's abuser. I don't want to potentially raise someone in this society. I just don't see a possibility of raising someone that doesn't contribute to a woman suffering in some way.
Contribute to a woman suffering. And she said, when she said return to sender, oh my God. Return to sender. Whew. You can figure that out for yourselves. Contribute to a woman suffering. That is the contribution. That's why you've got 84.4% black women being breadwinners, you think? What's he doing? Mr. 7 at best 35, maybe big $50 a month in child support. But we don't want to talk about that. But it's sad. And the sad thing is, you know what's worse than that? Here in this part of the video, what's worse than that is, guess what? The reality. The other major part that's sad is, guess what? The fact that, I understand her point. Raising what? An abuser. She doesn't want to do it. Contribute to a woman struggling. They're not a prize. Contribute to a woman struggling. Black women just keep picking up these liabilities. Knocking it just like I know one now. I'm sorry to tell you, Miss Six Figure Earner, the job is gone and so is the home. Picked up a liability. And no one has heard from her. I'm starting to wonder something is wrong. I mean, I know it's, had to leave. What do you think's gonna happen? You think some old dust bucket? He didn't have a job when you met him. Carrying a seat of poverty. Oh, I got it. Oh, he's been gone. You think he's going to be able to carry a house note that's $3,500 a month plus the utilities and food and car insurance? Really? He was a deadbeat when you met him, baby. She's left the house. No, haven't heard from her. It's a lot. Checking on her, no response. Where is he? Having to look to other women for help. So the abuse is well known, and especially to do with reality. If I were her, I would just hold off on having kids instead of trying to take a guess. And I don't know. I heard they have some kind of program. I'm not familiar with it where you can like pick the sex of your child. Maybe try that part. Might be the easier thing. But the fact that she feels that having a son, she refuses to do so because she feels that it's going to be contributing. That'll be her contribution as to raising an abuser. And she refuses to do it. Raising an abuser. Speaks volumes. It's sad. I understand though. Where's the love for black women? They get the chance that man every day of the week. If I were her child, I wouldn't even procreate with them. That's just me. Hey. Anyway, let me know what you all think. Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and share. Happy Friday, everybody. Wishing everyone well of success. If you're a trader, wishing you happy trades today. Keep it the same for myself. But I will say one thing about it. At least she's being realistic and she's honest, being honest. Oh, I'm gonna handle it. You have to see it for what it is. A lot of abusers are being raised, and some of these black mothers, I'm sorry to tell you, the father's not there. They don't blame the man, they blame you, the only parent that stayed. And that might be the one who end up getting slayed. And I don't mean like, oh, you slay. I mean like in the ground, 6 feet under. She feels that she would not want to have a son because that is equivalent to raising an abuser. Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, share, and I'm out.